Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel, our community, our world. What time of the day? It is almost 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this lovely Sunday, September 1st. Can you guys believe it's already September 1st? Hallelujah. And hallelujah even more. Guess why? The Whittakers and Mark Laita from Soft White Underbelly have made up, and they're friends again. I don't know if Mark is gonna not do the fundraising anymore or anything. It was just really nice to see Mark show up there. I have to say that each and every one of the Whittakers looked much skinnier. I don't know what that means. Are they eating without the help of Mark? I'm sure they are. A few of you guys have sent this video to me and have made comments like when Mark said, "You see what I mean? When he didn't want to sit down, he'd have to wash his clothes again."
I'm going to sit in this chair. I might have to throw away my clothes afterwards, but I'm going to do it.
Yes, I do. I don't think stuff like that needs to be said, but he has a relationship with this family. I didn't see it as a joke. I can understand why that would make those skeptical of Mark be even more skeptical of Mark, that he's making fun or doesn't really feel for the family. But here's the thing. Ray's smile and Timmy's smile and how Larry came up and owned his own shit and said, "Man, I'm sorry, I will tell everybody that you helped us in all of this." It doesn't matter what we think. Because it seems like the Whittakers are genuinely glad that Mark's back in their life. And I'm not sure, because Ray, he doesn't understand money. He doesn't understand the finances. I don't believe he does. I'm not inside of his head. But that's not why I don't think that's why Ray or Timmy were so glad to see Mark. I think that they were genuinely glad to see Mark because, Mark has been good to them. Mark has taken them places. When they see Mark, I think that they see hope. I really do. Mark made a comment about how Kenneth had never asked him for money, and I'm not too sure Kenneth's a good guy. Just because he never asked Mark for money doesn't mean he didn't get money from the family. I don't know how much of that is true or not. BJ came out with the fact that she's been getting help and that her dad kind of gave her an ultimatum. And that her dad actually got in trouble because of something BJ did. I highly recommend you check out the video. There's a new character there that I've never seen before. It's Jason's, I believe it's Jason's older brother. So the last video I did on the Whittakers, or the second to last video, was of Jason Whittaker, who had gotten out of jail and wanted to restart his life in a different part of the country. He seems to still be in West Virginia. I don't know if he's good, bad, indifferent. I don't know. But his older brother, who I've never seen, is somebody that Mark introduces us to in this video. Guys, I think it's good that Mark and the Whittakers are back because I think that they do need somebody to look out for them. And it's clear from the last video that I did that there were people that just were showing up at the Whittakers' home to make videos and to exploit them. And I know some of you think that Mark does that. But if he does that, he definitely gives back a lot more than these other people that just tried to exploit the situation and just show up. They were strangers. At least when Mark showed up, they knew him. And they did welcome him. And I'll tell you what, Betty, for the first time, I think went in and hugged him and gave him a kiss. I don't know. It was a little offhandish, but it was there. So I'm excited to see how this goes on and how Mark, because he had to have learned something about this. And he talks a little bit to them about like Tyler and how maybe Tyler manipulated a situation and made the Whittakers believe something or cut and splice something. I don't think so. I think it was all some big-ass misunderstanding. And I think Mark got insulted, but his honor was called out. So I kind of get that. I get that. So, so to me, it was really nice to see Mark there. I think that, you know, it's clear that Mark missed them. Betty apparently had a heart attack, and she's recovering and she's doing a lot better. But I think that kind of struck Mark too, as maybe, I care about this family, and I would hate to find out that happened, and if God forbid she didn't make it, how I could have helped that situation. I think that it really would have affected Mark had Betty would have passed, and they would have been at odds with each other. So I think that it was nice for Mark to get the apologies that he deserved, and I think it was good that they kind of cleared the air. And whatever Mark continues to do, he had said to Ray that he was going to come and see them again. He was going to continue to visit with them. So I think that wherever Mark put this in his head and how he's able to get beyond it, that he could view it as a misunderstanding. He can also view it as, ignorance. A few of you have said, hey, what do you expect with people like that? They don't know the value of $1. They don't know this. So maybe Mark took some of that on and said, hey, maybe I'm responsible for some of this. And if they didn't know any better, maybe I could have showed them better. Maybe I could have handled this differently. I think that in time we are going to see how Mark is going to continue on with this relationship and where he's going to place himself so that he can continue to keep the relationship without something like that maybe happening again. So all we could do is wish the best. I do believe that Mark does a lot more good than bad for the Whittakers. And listen, I know that you guys, a few of you have said things about Mark's character in other things. I can't go by that. I don't. I'm only going by what I saw. I don't personally know where to place I'll sit down, but I'm going to have to wash my clothes after this or throw my clothes away or whatever. Yeah, I don't know how that sits with me really. But I have to say, to be honest, I wouldn't sit down in their home. I would be itchy. I just, and I'm not saying that to be mean. I know that. So maybe I just wouldn't sit down. I don't know. I certainly would probably wear some dark clothing over there, not something light or something that could be stained. This is a ridiculous conversation. I think I've seen Mark even eat or drink something out of there, haven't I? Or no? That's something I ain't too sure I would do. I know that there's a curiosity when it comes to the Whittakers, how they live, and even how they live in the filth that they were living in. We have to wonder, and that is fascinating. But I think we also need to be respectful when it comes to things like that, because they're only doing the best they can. They're only going by what they've been taught. If they don't know any better, then they don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand where some of you guys have said it. Didn't you see where he showed the bathtub in that video and was like, and he brought in the girl to, it was almost like making fun. Is it, or is it saying, I don't understand how people could live like this? Is it coming from that? Was there a nastiness? Was it coming from, well, I'm going to have to wash my clothes if I sit down here, or is it, look at the attention of it? I don't know. I probably wouldn't have said that, especially if it's me going there, right? I don't know. And when you guys ask me questions like that, I have to address it because a few of you have asked me. And I don't have an answer for that. I don't know why Mark says that. I don't know. I don't get his humor if it's supposed to be funny, or his wit if it's supposed to be smart funny. I don't know. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. What do you think? I think I know what some of you think, but what some of you don't think, I don't know. So tell me what you think. Would you eat something out of the Whittakers' house? Would you sit in one of their chairs? All right, guys. Get your tea, coffee, matcha, Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, green tea. purple juice, whatever. Guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always, always, always be kind. Never be any Blanchard. Never, ever, ever. Why did I throw Gypsy into this? Why not? All right, guys. See ya.
You missed the money.
Hey, Shingo. Hey, Shingo.